The benefits of not having a large friend group and being overlooked. What is good with y'all? Welcome back. It's your boy Samuel Master, where we just groovy, baby. Disclaimer, like I said, this video is called Benefits of Not Having Large Friend Groups and Being Overlooked. This video was no way intended to promote the reality of excessive isolation and or excessive paranoia with being amongst other people. However, I'm sharing my experiences and my thoughts and my downloads that I receive through the ether realm and through the universal network of thought, and my experiences versus being in solitude and the things I've been able to accomplish while being alone, um, and the benefits of being overlooked, i.e., not being categorized. Ginger brew. This video is not sponsored. We ain't drinking no alcohol here. Let's get right into the video. Number one, if you, especially going into your mid to late 20s, going into your 30s, if you thrive off of needing to be befriended or be within the confines of a large group of friends, here's what's going to happen to you. As I said in the disclaimer, this video is not intended to create extreme isolation or create a scenario in which you're always alone and you don't trust nobody. That's not what this video is about. Something I realized, bro, is that an individual who's a friend to everybody is enemy to himself. Something that I've learned is that after people graduate from high school, the mentality of group consciousness and tribe-mindedness is not deleted, i.e., people never mature. When you are constantly in a big friend group and when you are constantly around so many different types of energies and frequencies, you don't get the particular time to, number one, identify your own frequency. Number two, identify what you feel is true and important within your reality. You typically go with what the group wants. And when you begin to get into the latter years of your life, that becomes dangerous because you never develop your identity. Typically, in high school and even in college and even in work, a lot of times there is a hive mentality and there's always some sort of group clique consciousness at these facilities and places. A lot of times when you're within a group, especially a large group of friends, you never really, and even if you're the leader, right, you're still needing to create this caveat of like an agreement towards something that you may disagree with. And a lot of times what happens is that it leaves you, number one, not being able to have a clear discernment as to what's going on. Number two, it causes you to say yes to things you want to say no to. And number three, you never truly have a voice. So the reason why I find it being a benefit, because the moment I separated myself from like acquaintances and friends and hive-minded groups, I realized that a lot of the things in which were done, and this has nothing to do with like partying or drinking or going out or smoking. No, I'm saying in a sense of the way people interpret and look at life. I began to realize a lot of the conversations that we would have or were being brought up, I didn't really care for. And this isn't me saying you can't have small talk with people and you can't have like a cool little group chat, but a lot of times throughout life, you're gonna find yourself, whether you're in solitude, like, dang, like, I wasted a lot of years being in that group or being within the confines of these people because based on what you're doing now and based on what you want to accomplish, you realize that time is your greatest asset. Time and attention is the only currency in this physical reality. Yes, we utilize what we call money, which is energy, as a form of exchange and currency to receive things, but time and your attention is your most important thing. And when it's spent within a group, specifically when that group is not something in which you're directing, can become dangerous because it's like now you're around all these different energies, you're taking all this information, and your mind and your thoughts in which you want to bring to the table or bring up to the table is not being met with respect. Number one. Number two, it's being disregarded. So that's why you can see one man walk past a group of people and they all stare and stop because they feel his energy, they feel his resonance, they feel his aura. So when you detach yourself and are an individual, like I said, you can be an individual amongst the group, but typically it's not going to be a large group. Especially like if you're going somewhere, bro, it's not going to be a large group. It's going to be like a select few. But when you evolve and become an individual, you begin to manifest and you begin to produce the life in which you deem necessary. Because when you're within a group of friends, they're all going to be in your ear. When are you going to start your family? But when are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? Hey, bro, I need some money. Hey, bro, I need this. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. Like I said, if you have a brotherhood, I'm not saying that's bad. Or a sisterhood, I'm not saying that's bad. Or a group of friends, it's not bad. But it's just like the older you get, you got to start analyzing and looking like, hey, where's this group taking me? Because a lot of times when you really analyze and look at it, what do you guys get together and do? Nothing really important. Hey, man, it's just cool little, hey, look. I've met 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds who said they wasted away their 20s and 30s being in large friends, being in a large friend group. Some went to jail, locked up. Some got into the wrong relationships meeting these group of friends. So I'm saying it to say, if you find yourself alone, if you find yourself in solitude, there's nothing wrong with that. You're actually being pushed to start developing an individualistic aura, number one, to thus attract the right individuals into your life. Because like I said, a friend to everybody, you're always in different big friend groups, bro, it's a trap. I'm just trying to tell you, and it's not a trap from like morality thing. It's just like you never get the time to actually develop your own self. Because when you grow up, right, you go to school, there's groups of friends. Elementary, middle school, high school, college, your job. When you're gonna start developing your own mind? When you're gonna start developing your own individualistic way of thinking? And like I said, this isn't me saying you cannot have friends. This isn't me saying that if you're within a group and it's quite large that it's bad and evil. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you find yourself not within one, there's nothing wrong with you. Most likely you're an individual. Most likely you're a person with purpose. Most likely you're an individual who has vision and drive. And you're being told to start pursuing the things in which you want to accomplish. Because when you're within a group, and when you're within a large group, when there's no definitive, and that's not what I'm saying, when there's no definitive purpose, it is a waste of time. Now, when you're within a group of people and there's definiteness of purpose, and when there's a definitive goal, that's when you can start to manifest things at an accelerated rate. But if that is not the case, and if that is not the obligation, bro, weird things and strange things will happen. Understand me? So that's number one. Now, the benefits of being overlooked. A lot of times in life, bro, we feel as though we're supposed to, be chosen, be selected, be picked. Why didn't that girl text me back? Why didn't that guy call me back? Why didn't this happen? Why didn't that happen? Why didn't this opportunity happen or that happen? Well, here's the dope thing about being overlooked. Nobody can prejudge you. You are a question mark. You are a mystery. And one of the most beautiful things to be within this reality is the best kept secret. I'm not saying this from a standpoint of being in limbo of things almost happening or always being in the shadows of things. I mean it from saying that when you know your value and you know what you bring to the table, when you're not chosen and then you thus produce and show who you are, they don't see you coming. I watched this movie, it was called The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves and Al Capone. And one of the lines I loved the most was when Al Capone told Keanu Reeves, which is Kevin, don't let them see you coming. Don't ever see you coming. And that made me just realize about like a lot of people who've been overlooked, and how the second you hit the scene and you start doing the works in which you're intended to do and start emanating your value, how it's going to shock people, because a lot of people have already made a preconception of who you are, have already dubbed you, have already written you off. So some of the most beautiful things about being written off and being overlooked is that when you finally arrive, a lot of people that overlooked you, number one, will feel regret. Number two, the beautiful thing is that you don't get that pressure. You don't have that pressure, because like when people are chosen for an obligation, or when people are valued at a very, very young age, or when people peak at an early age, they typically fall off. When they fall off, it's hard. But then number one, number two, they never recover. So if you feel as though you're like a late bloomer, or do you feel as though like nobody values you, or you're being overlooked, just realize number one, you don't have the pressure of so many eyes on you. There's eyes on you. Trust me, there's eyes on you. But when you arrive, it's going to just shock people. That's it for today, man. I want to leave you guys with that. Just remember, this is a beautiful journey. And when I say beautiful, that is completely subjective, because everybody has a particular and unique way in which they look and perceive life. I know I have my own unique way of perceiving and looking at life. But always remember, you're here in this moment, and you have the capability to do and achieve whatever you deem necessary. And remember that it's within you. And remember, these laws of the universe work for your benefit and against your benefit. What you dwell upon is what you pull and bring into your reality. Be mindful of that. Be aware of that. But don't be afraid. Have fun. Remember, this is a temporary experience. We're not meant to be here forever, but we're meant to take this experience and leave for something different. So take it easy. Enjoy it. Have fun. But know that it's not a competition, but it's a mission. And keep your head up. Keep focused. Just keep moving forward. You feel what I'm saying? So I hope that made sense, how that resonated. If something didn't resonate, discard it. But if it did resonate, leave me a comment. Let me know if I missed anything. But y'all have it going.